Good morning. Welcome to the Community Voice. I'm Steve Graddick, your host. Delighted to have you with us on Monday, September 11th. And we're pleased to have a very special program for you here on Community Voice. And there are a couple things about this. We're simulcasting this across all our Facebook platforms, not only the News Talk Facebook platform, but all the others. So you can, have any comments, you can go to our Facebook sites and post them, and we'll try to read them here. We also welcome your phone calls at 678-601-TALK, 678-601-8255. Before we get started with our special guest this morning, I'd like to take a moment this program was meant today to be a remembrance program for 9/11. And there was a remembrance ceremony set for this evening in Villa Rica at the Mill Amphitheater. That has, of course, been canceled. But we would still like to take a moment just to acknowledge that it was this morning, 16 years ago, that 846 American Airlines Flight 11 and then a 907 Flight 175 flew into two towers, and we lost 3,000 plus Americans as a result. So just want to acknowledge that this morning before we start talking with our special guest, Carroll County EMA Director Tim Padgett and Carroll County Commission Chairman Marty Smith. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You're going to have to get close to that mic, sir.
Good morning, sir.
And if Hurricane Harvey wasn't enough, they threw Hurricane Irma on top of us. How about that? So here we are this morning, and we want to bring everybody up to date regarding West Georgia and Hurricane Irma. And I'm grateful for both these gentlemen, not only for what they do, but for their willingness to come in this morning and share the very latest information with us. So with that said, Tim, Carroll County EMA Director, give us what you understand to be the latest knowledge and the latest forecast on Hurricane Irma.
Well, thank you, Steve, for having us this morning. And you know, we're just asking everyone to be prepared. The latest on it last night when we had our last briefing at 8:30 p.m. Was it looks like that will affect our area sometime today. You know, we're already getting the outer rain bands, but it does look like that it will affect our area afternoon and probably to about 2 a.m. this morning, in the morning. And our goal here and our thinking is planning hard for a 24-hour event going from 12 noon till 12 noon tomorrow. And we'll be fully staffed in the Emergency Operations Center. And that is everything that you can think of with the weather. We are under a tropical storm warning. That means 39 plus mile an hour winds. That means a risk of some localized flooding. That also means that you know, we could have some brief spin up tornadoes that will spin up quick, so there will not be a lot of warning from the National Weather Service on that.
Now I understand we're also under a flood watch. Is that
yes,
correct?
sir, that is correct.
Tell us what's the rainfall predicted?
Anywhere from 3 to 5 inches for our area, and it looks like maybe more to the east side of our area, 5 to 7 inches.
Okay. Let's shift to County Commission Chairman Marty Smith. Tell us, you've got a whole crew of county employees that are standing ready that have been prepping for this for several days now. What are some of the provisions and preparations that are on tap to respond?
Well, one good thing, like you say, we listen to Tim Padgett during these events right here. Tim's got a great track record, past president of the state EMA. You know, if I had not hired him, I would have hired him. You want the best when they're around you. And Tim has advised this is coming through. We're going to side on the air of precaution. And we've got people staged in different parts of the county. We've asked all non-essential employees to stay at home. And we're going to call in, you know, public safety. I can give them an extra administration to work with today. Charles Pope, obviously with the roads department, we've got them different stages. We've got a staging area for debris that we're going to try working with, because obviously how well you do in a storm is how well you recover with FEMA and, you know, be able to work with your paperwork and, you know, as you get reimbursed and all. And We've Tim's been through this many a times. We have on the private side as well, and we're going to be there prepared.
You referenced FEMA, so Georgia understands already. Either one of y'all can respond. Has been declared a disaster area already.
No, sir.
Not Georgia.
What has happened is the chairman here declared a local state of emergency as of midnight, which we just have a date on our form of 9/11.
Okay.
And then also the governor has declared us a state of emergency. And what that does from the state side is that allows the state resources to come off of the state routes and off of the forestry commission stuff and help us on private property or on county roads and stuff like that. But nothing from FEMA. It's too early on that.
Marty, before we go to break, tell us, I know Charles Pope does a whole lot of year-round preparation for this, and y'all have got a lot of equipment that y'all keep on standby. Can you give us a little description of that?
Absolutely. With the passage of Splosh, and with this good time to plug it, thank goodness we're able to purchase equipment with that. But Charles has done a good job also of gearing up. My background was heavy equipment, and also we've been able to relate on that subject when I came on board. We had a lot of old equipment. It was time to update it. We didn't buy all new equipment. We've been able to buy a lot of government surplus, and a lot of that's been donated just for us going to pick it up. It cost us the fuel only. We've picked up probably 15, 18 pieces. Charles told me just the other day with the new Great All we just purchased that Carroll County is probably in the best shape it has ever been in as far as equipment. So we've got the personnel to run it, so we're staged here and ready for any major events.
Okay, we're going to take a break now, and we'll be back with Carroll County EMA Director Tim Padgett and Carroll County Commission Chairman Marty Smith as we discuss Irma and our preparations here in West Georgia to handle this storm. But first, this word from Tanner Health System.
Need help finding something healthy to eat? Tanner Health System has an app for that. Minuit helps you find healthy food options on the go. The smartphone app is powered by Tanner's Health experts, who teamed up with restaurants across West Georgia to make it easier for you to choose healthy food and eat better. Minuit acts like your personal nutrition assistant, showing you the healthiest items on the menu. So when you're not sure what's good to eat, Minuit. You can even use the app to look up recipes and plan healthy meals at home, and modify your options based on nutritional preferences, such as a low-sodium or vegetarian diet. Minuit and Tanner Health System, making it easier to eat healthy and live well. A healthier lifestyle is only a fingertip away. Minuit is free to download on your Apple or Android smartphone. You can download it today by searching Minuit in the App Store or on Google Play. Learn more about Minuit at gethealthylivewell.org.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Community Voice. I'm Steve Gradick, your host. Delighted to have you with us on a very special day as we talk about what's now Tropical Storm Irma as it approaches West Georgia and the event that's coming on. We have in studio today Carroll County Commission Chairman Marty Stewart. I'm sorry, Marty Smith.
I can sing.
Sing one for us there, Marty. That's when you got two country stations. That's easy to do. Carroll County EMA Director Tim Padgett, and you're not related to any country music star as far as I know. You can't say. Just a quick, and then Marty, you can elaborate on this. Let me just read some of the closings. All of the closings are listed on our website under the news column. And of course, all the schools are closed today and tomorrow. In our area. Of course, as I mentioned, the City of Villarica 9/11 Day of Service and Remembrance Ceremony scheduled for this evening has been canceled. Carrollton Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts will be canceling all programs today, and that includes all the athletic practices and games and all programming held at Lakeshore Center. Let's see. Now tell us about government. It's closed today, but now we're going to take a look at it. Health Department in Carroll County is closed today and tomorrow. But your offices, Marty, and I think the courthouse are closed
Absolutely. All judicial systems are going to be closed as well today. We had a lot of people coming in to serve for jury duty and all that. We've got it posted. We put it on Facebook, trying to keep people from getting out in this weather and taking a risk at our effort. When we say non-essential, everybody is essential to county government to make the functions work day to day. This will be public safety and support staff helping for a major or tragic weather event that will be coming into work only.
Tim, it seems like in this event, the winds are the most concerning because we're going to have the trees are heavy with vegetation. We're going to have a rain-soaked ground, and so if we get high winds, the trees are going to fall over and damage houses, power lines, etc. Tell us a little bit something about what to expect. What mile-per-hour winds are the worst?
Well, the worst case scenario, I think, according to the Weather Service last night at 8:30 briefing, is 50 plus mile an hour winds, and that's with some gust into the 60s. This afternoon, according to them, it looks like that probably after 5 or 6 o'clock we'll start having 30 to 40 mile an hour winds and more. And then the worst is as nightfall comes and on into about midnight.
And these are what's called straight line winds, I believe?
They're fronts that's in head of the tropical storm Irma. Basically, they're outer bands of that.
What do you recommend for homeowners? I mean, well, not all of us, but I certainly do have a lot of quote-unquote junk around the house, laying around outside, and how do you secure a home, and what type homes might be more at risk than others?
Well, anything that you got outside, you definitely need to get secured down. Where I've seen some folks who has took the patio furniture and moved it into their carport if they have a way to close it enclosed carport. I have seen some people tie and strap their furniture down. Anything that could fly through an outside window and bust your window out. I recommend everybody probably staying on the lower floor because I said if we do have spin up tornadoes, they could be fast, they could be rain wrapped. Although last night in the briefing they seemed to think that would be more to the east.
Marty, being responsible for all these work crews that go out Tuesday and Wednesday, obviously there's a lot of precautions that have to be taken for their safety too. And while they're going to respond whenever and wherever they can, we don't want them to be put in danger, correct?
Absolutely. We're not going to go out and work in the storm. We're going to follow the suit of Carroll EMC and Georgia Power that we spoke with yesterday. They said they learned that years ago in 1995 with Opal, that it's better to work after the storm or before the storm, but not during the event itself. So, we'll be on call and we'll be close enough by to make things happen quick, but we will not be out during the emergency part of the actual storm part.
We have a question from one of our Facebook listeners, watchers, and viewers, rather. Catherine Robacher, should everyone just simply stay at home if possible?
That is correct. I would stay at home today, prepare, go ahead and make those preparations, have the battery backups for your phones, make sure they're charged, have extra medicine, have water. Because we could be without power for a little while.
I'll let both of y'all kind of respond to this. Sometimes we hear an event like this it's hard to it's hard to predict exactly where these kind of major weather events will go, how severe they will be, and then sometimes people say, well, y'all just blew it all out of proportion, and we as a news organization want to be factual and keep everything on an even keel, not over dramatize anything. How do y'all kind of resolve what information you put out there and how do you put it out there in order to be on target in terms of what's warranted?
Well, if I may, that's a very tough thing for us to do. We depend on the National Weather Service out of Peachtree City, giving us the weather briefings, and then everybody working together to make that plan to make sure that we're all on the same page and working together. One thing that is hopefully on our side for this event is that hopefully we don't get any heating of the day. Currently, I think it's 54 to 56 degrees outside, and hopefully that's going to help us a little bit.
Let's go ahead and jump in. We got a question from Jamie Daniel regards to shelters. Are there any shelters available now in West Georgia and East Alabama? Is there a place to, what's the latest? And Marty, you can address it. Both of y'all can address this. What about shelters? How's it looking? I know we've had several churches open up their shelters.
I know Midway called, putting their church on the list. Tabernacle has put theirs on the list if needed. We've got several options. Obviously, the county cannot publicize those until we see the size of the event, because we've got to be able to take care of our own event first. But I think we, as of yesterday, had several call in. Other than that, Tim?
Yes, sir, that's correct. But what we allow people to do is, and what is works out good for us, is when we go under that watch for whatever that watch is, or as it gets closer, they're allowed to go to government buildings. They're also allowed to go to Tanner Health System, and that is a short-term event for someone who lives who is scared and don't want to stay in their home. Then if this gets bad and we have a lot of damage and stuff within the area, we will definitely start looking at opening up these shelters, and we're working with the churches constantly, and this is kind of a fluid event just to see how it's going here.
Tony Moore posted just a moment ago that the Oxford Civic Center in Alabama, East Alabama, is available also. Before we go to this break, and I'll let Marty start off with this, but we talk a lot about the different government agencies, the different emergency agencies, et cetera, but it's really wonderful in Carroll County and everywhere in West Georgia to see neighbors watching out for neighbors, neighborhoods, checking on that elderly lady down the street that may live alone, and just getting the chainsaws fired up and ready. I mean, have y'all seen much of this go around?
Absolutely. Carroll County still prides itself that we're 72% rural, and with that comes along with the neighbors helping neighbors. But we do the same way in the meetings. Yesterday, the 2 weather briefings we had over 70 people represented there, and that's not just county staff. That's the locals, the emergency shelters, people that are concerned. And I've talked to the neighbors, Chairman Allen Poole up on the north side, the different south side, but all counties do not meet like that. That's what we pride ourselves on, is the workability of people coming together. Tim does a great job. I tell him that's his party. When he brings everybody together, he does a tremendous job, because we all get along together and able to keep getting one room and make some big decisions.
Tim, will you elaborate on that too? I mean, you deal with all the police departments, the fire departments head on, and it seems like y'all got a great rapport.
We do. We're very blessed to live in this community, and the public safety, the support agencies, the volunteer agencies, and the faith-based organizations, the schools, the universities, was all in that room yesterday. And as you was in there also, that everybody was just willing to step up to the plate and do what they have to do. And, we're so blessed to have that. My job is kind of to be the coordinator, is to bring everybody together and make sure, hopefully, we stay on the same page.
And the facilities, the E911 facility, top notch.
Yes, sir. The splashed tax, the citizens were so good to us, allowed us to build a nice center there. We have a large 911 dispatch center, and then the room you was in yesterday is called the Emergency Operations Center, which this morning has transformed into to different agencies setting up their stuff with their radios, their command boards and stuff. And what happens when 911 starts getting overwhelmed with calls, then they'll start transferring those calls, or we'll start prioritizing those calls, and that's how we'll be responding out of the Emergency Operations Center.
A couple extra closings. City of Tallapoosa Municipal Court closed today. Carroll County Training Center is closed today and tomorrow, and all Northwest Georgia public health offices, including the district offices, will be closed today and tomorrow. And we're going to be back with more with Carroll County Commission Chairman Marty Smith, Carroll County EMA Director Tim Padgett, but first this word from Tanner Health System.
In sports, when you play to win, you get your game on. Shouldn't the same be true when it comes to your health? At Tanner Health System, we're going to help you get your healthy on. Tanner is leading the way for you to eat better, get fit, manage or prevent diabetes, and live tobacco-free, so you and your family can get your healthy on every day. It all starts at gethealthylivewell.org. Check out upcoming healthy living events and join others in the community taking action to live well every day. Gethealthylivewell.org. Tanner Health System's way of helping you get your healthy on.
Need motivation and support to eat healthier, become more physically active, or quit tobacco? Tanner offers free classes to help you get your healthy on. Register today by calling 770-214-CARE. That's 770-214-CARE. Learn more at gethealthylivewell.org.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Community Voice. I'm Steve Gradick, your host. Glad to have you with us. We're going to jump back into a recap of the Tropical Storm Irma. But first, with Carroll County Commission Chairman Marty Smith, tell us that the county's been sheltering some power company employees, and we've seen some Floridians come up here to evacuate also, right?
Absolutely. All of our park systems are booked solid. We did say one room. We're housing 35, 40, I think another 12, 15 are trying to come in today from Carroll EMC, Georgia Power. If not the event here, at least they're staged closer. They're coming from Indiana and Kentucky. At least they're staged here and can go in the direction they need. So just trying to be good hosts there as well, and hopefully we don't have the event and we can help them and send them in a different direction and get them closer.
And then when this is over, we invite them to come back and enjoy Carroll
Absolutely.
County. Tim, tell us about the sirens. If we hear a siren today or overnight, that means a tornado warning has occurred and nothing else, right?
Yes, sir, that is correct. And the tornado, the sirens only blow for a tornado warning, and they only blow for the area that the warning is for. For instance, if the warning was in the Villarica area and it was not for the Bowden area, the sirens in Villarica would blow and the ones in Bowden would not. But please keep in mind with the winds, it's going to be blowing 30 to 40 miles an hour or more. You're not going to be able to hear those sirens inside. They're primary outdoor warning sirens. If you're outdoors, they're telling you to get inside. So please have some alternate means of getting notifications from the Weather Service.
Tell us, because I've always been fascinated by this, what is the smart thing? You're in a home, you hear the sirens, whatever, and you've been informed by radio or whatever that there's tornado warning in your immediate area. Where in the house should you go?
What I tell people is try to go to the center of the house and try to put most of our weather comes from the west. That may not be the case with this storm, but historically put as many walls between you and the outside as you can.
In this particular event, when do you expect the very worst of it to be? Can you give us a time frame, hour to hour?
I'm thinking from 3 to probably midnight.
3 p.m. today? So it came in a little bit earlier than expected.
I'm just, the outer bands, we just don't know what they're going to do. And if we get any heating of the day, they're going to start to fire up a little bit more. And we just don't know what that heating of the day is going to do. But I would say anywhere 3 to 4 p.m. till probably midnight tonight will be our critical time.
Okay, so about 8 hours of this when it really hits. And when it hits, how will the winds will just pick up, the rain will pick up, we'll know it when it gets
Yes, sir,
here.
it'll pick up as the outer bands come, and then it'll die down a little bit and pick back up again.
Okay, well, what about, so basically by tomorrow afternoon, we should see possibly clear skies? Is that what y'all understand, or?
That is correct, but keep in mind then, we still may not be able to get out, because of the down trees, the down power lines and stuff. I know Public Works and the Sheriff's Office has a lot of vehicles that they're going to be out and getting the trees and stuff moved just as quick as they can. And, that might be just opening one lane of traffic where traffic can flow. But, please stay inside. That's the reason, that we went ahead Monday and Tuesday to ask people to just stay inside, because we're going to be cleaning up after the event on Tuesday.
Marty, your reflections. Let's see, you've been county commission chairman now for how long?
4.5 years.
Okay, is this our worst storm since you've been?
It probably is, as far as the wind and weather. We've opened up the EOC several times in the past with snowstorm and different events with Tim. I always rely on him, and our goal is not to have to open it, but we do have a new center now, and we're better prepared than we've ever been.
We've got a whole nice E911 facility in there. What should people think about calling? Do they feel like they have to have a life-threatening emergency, or do they just any kind of emergency before they call 911?
If it is an emergency, go ahead and dial 911. They have extra staffing on. I wouldn't use it to call and say my cable TV's out, or my phone, or my landline's not working, or something.
That probably
like
wouldn't help
that.
anyway.
So, But if it is an emergency, that's what it's there for.
And they'll have the latest on all the shelters. We'll keep them updated because everybody will be working out of one center. So
what will the county, and I guess this is more of a sheriff's department kind of question, as far as transporting people that may be in a situation they need transportation, does the sheriff's department help with that? Do y'all help with that, or how does that work?
Yes, sir. It just depends on the sheriff's office. Keep in mind, every one of the key players will be in that emergency operations center at noon, and where it would be an ambulance, or where it would be a sheriff's office, or whatever, we'll all be stepping up to plate and trying to take care of the patient's needs.
West Georgia ambulance is fully ready to go.
Yes, sir.
Right. And I guess all the fire departments and the sheriff's department, I think they're bringing everybody in around noon or something, or to.
And closing of the judicial system frees up some extra staff for him as far as today as well.
So if nobody committed crimes around here, we'd have a whole lot more deputies.
Yes, sir.
Okay, why don't you work on that? All right, any final thoughts? We've only got a couple minutes left. I guess just everybody be smart, be safe, be cautious.
Yeah, and as an old saying, I say just stay weather aware. There's enough apps out there to where you can get a radar on your phone, or you can stay tuned to you all here. And I know y'all will be top on it and let you know what's going on, but have some form of communications to know what's going on in the outside world.
And if anybody missed this show, we're going to post it on all our Facebook sites, and stay tuned throughout the course of the day. Colin Worthington will be giving us updates, as will all of our radio stations, and we thank y'all for what y'all do. Before we go, if you would, give us a shout out, because it's just not you two guys; it's a whole army of people, right?
It is. It's a full staff. It takes everybody, and that's why I say I never want to say non-essential and mean that bad. It's just that we want to take care of all of our people, put them at home. But Steve, I want to thank y'all. Y'all do a great job coming out. Carroll County, 503 square miles. It's tough to communicate to the people of Carroll County. So thank y'all for helping us to get the word out there, and we'll keep hour by hour with you to keep people posted.
Yeah, and Steve, on that, that's it's not only the county, it's the municipalities. They're also prepared. As you saw yesterday in that meeting, all of them was represented there.
Yeah, and particularly we want to think about and pray for the linemen that are out there on the poles and in the water and dealing with high voltage. That's not something I would do, I'll tell you what.
No, sir. Georgia Power, Carroll EMC are top of the line. And their EMC is ready, and Georgia Power's ready, and we'll just try to to handle this event the very best we can. Our
gratitude this morning to Carroll County Commission Chairman Marty Smith and Carroll County EMA Director Tim Padgett. Thank you for listening, and go out and make it a great day in spite of the weather. And you're in tune to WLBB Carrollton.